This is not a normal video, and you didn't click on it by accident. If you've been feeling heavy for no clear reason, if your motivation dropped, but your conscience became sharper, if you feel quieter, more distant, and strangely emotional, this message is for you. Most people think something is wrong with them at this stage. They assume they're becoming weak. They think they're losing joy. Some even believe their faith is failing. But what if this isn't depression? What if this is the beginning of spiritual growth? And no one ever warned you how painful that beginning feels. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this phase feels dark and why it doesn't mean God has left you. Part 1. Why the heaviness comes first. Let's go deeper into the heaviness, because this is where most people panic. When spiritual growth begins, the mind expects relief, but the soul experiences weight. Why? Because growth starts by removing illusions. For a long time, you survived by distracting yourself, staying busy, tolerating emotional noise, ignoring inner resistance. Spiritual growth removes anesthesia, and pain that was always there finally becomes noticeable. This is why people say, "I don't know why, but everything feels heavier lately." Nothing new has entered your life. What changed is your ability to feel. Before growth, your heart was partially closed for protection. Now it is opening. An opening hurts before it heals. This is not depression. Depression closes. Growth opens, but opening feels overwhelming at first. Why God allows the heaviness. God does not begin transformation with excitement. He begins with truth. Truth is heavy when you have been living light. You begin to see emotional compromises you made, relationships that drained you, behaviors that dulled your spirit, and seeing clearly hurts. The Bible never says growth feels good at first. It says growth produces fruit later. Part 2. Loneliness. During growth, let's address the loneliness more deeply. This loneliness is not social. It is existential. You can be surrounded by people and still feel isolated. Why? Because your inner language is changing. You are no longer entertained by shallow talk, empty validation, meaningless conflict. Your spirit is hungry for substance, not noise. And when the room doesn't speak your new language, you feel alone, even if you are loved. This is where many people think, something is wrong with me. But nothing is wrong. Your soul is maturing faster than your environment. Why God does not remove the loneliness? Immediately, because solitude teaches discernment. If God filled this space instantly with new people, you would never learn how to sit with yourself, hear your own conscience, recognize truth without confirmation. Loneliness refines perception. It teaches you the difference between companionship and dependency. Part 3. Losing interest in old pleasures. This part is terrifying for many people. They say, "I don't enjoy what I used to. Am I broken?" No, you are detaching. Spiritual growth dismantles emotional addictions. Things that once gave you quick relief, entertainment, attention, stimulation, approval begin to feel empty. This emptiness is not loss. It is withdrawal from false nourishment. Just like the body reacts when sugar is removed, the soul reacts when empty pleasures lose power. Why this feels like depression? Because depression and detox share symptoms: fatigue, disinterest, emotional flatness. But the direction is different. Depression pulls inward toward despair. Growth pulls inward toward truth. One leads to collapse, the other leads to clarity. Most people ignore this part, And that's why nothing changes. They try to go back to what no longer fits, instead of growing into what's coming. Part 4. Increased conviction and sensitivity. Now let's talk about conviction. As growth begins, your tolerance decreases. Things you once ignored now disturb you. Words feel heavier. Intentions feel louder. Why? Because growth sharpens moral awareness. This is not God punishing you. This is God aligning you. When alignment begins, misalignment becomes uncomfortable. That discomfort feels like guilt, but it's actually guidance. Why this stage feels exhausting? Because you are relearning how to live consciously. Before, you reacted. Now, you reflect. Reflection costs energy at first, but later, it brings peace. Part 5. Why pain comes before peace. This is the core truth. Spiritual growth is not additive, it is subtractive first. God removes false identities, emotional clutter, suppressed grief, unhealed wounds. Removal hurts more than addition. Peace comes after space is cleared. This is why growth feels destructive before it feels constructive. The biblical pattern: wilderness before promise, pruning before fruit, silence before direction. Growth follows this order, always. Part 6. Differentiating growth from depression. This matters deeply, so listen carefully. Ask yourself, is this pain pushing me toward honesty? Am I becoming more self-aware, not less? Do I still desire meaning, even if joy feels distant? If yes, this is growth. Depression removes desire. Growth redirects it. Depression numbs conscience. Growth sharpens it. Depression isolates from God. Growth drives you toward Him, even in confusion. Part 7. Why God doesn't explain this phase. God rarely explains this phase because explanation would make you resist it, label it wrongly, escape it prematurely. Growth must be experienced, not understood first. Understanding comes after endurance. Part 8. What to do while you're in this phase. Do not rush yourself. Do not label yourself. Do not retreat into distractions. Instead, simplify, reduce noise. Listen inwardly, allow grief to surface. This phase is temporary, but avoidance prolongs it. If you are in this season, you are not weak. You are early. Early stages are quiet. Early stages are confusing. Early stages feel lonely. But they are necessary. You were not meant to stay who you were. And growth always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. This message found you because you needed language for something you couldn't explain. And now, you have it. If this brought clarity to your confusion, someone else is searching for these words too. And when your questions deepen, this is a place you can return to, without fear, without pressure.